What is up, guys? This is Janis. I hope you're doing fine. I'm in a Heathrow at the moment, and I'm going to the Singapore today. I'm gonna be switching over in Singapore to another race, and then I'm going to the Phuket, which is the final destination, and I'll be there about midday tomorrow. So I got really long flight. I mean, this is the first time I'm going to be flying for I think 13 hours straight, and when we're going to be staying in the Singapore, we're planning to have a little excursion so we don't have to just sit in the terminal for like 5 hours straight, but I'll see how it goes. So at the moment I'll just find some quiet space to sit down and probably try to do some work. So we'll see how that goes. I'll see you in a bit, guys. So I've just arrived in Singapore. I can't believe I've just been flying for like 13 hours. This was my longest flight ever, but we were well looked after. Obviously we had a couple of meals, lunch and breakfast, and I also had a bit of a nap for like 3 or 4 hours, so it was all right. And now I got to wait here, I guess about 3 hours. No, not 3 hours, 5 hours. And then we are heading to the Phuket, which is our final destination. And it's kind of strange because by UK time it's like midnight now, but it's like morning here because we're 8 hours ahead. So it's gonna be really long day, but because I had a bit of a sleep, I think it should be fine. And I'm excited to see, you know, how the Phuket looks like and everything. So I have finally arrived in the villa. I do apologize, guys, that I didn't do this video straight away. Obviously it's 2 days later now than I'm doing this video, because when I just arrived in the villa we had to do some changes, some adjustments in the rooms and stuff, so I just had to prioritize something else, but nonetheless I wanted to show you guys around, and I'll do like a little tour, and then I'm gonna catch up with you later. So let's jump into it, yeah? So here we have a kitchen area. We have a chief coming in 3 times a day to cook breakfast, lunch and dinner for us, which is extremely handy because we don't have to go anywhere, we don't have to do anything, we can just literally enjoy our holiday. Obviously in general there is 14 of us staying in this villa. They're all my friends. We have come here for a super special occasion. Obviously sorry, this is so hard to say, this is so serious stuff. I'm getting married here in Thailand. So this is extremely important, and that's why we've picked this villa for the place to stay. And I'm staying with all of my friends. So, okay, let's carry on. I'll show you the rest of the villa. This is really cool in the evenings when it gets a bit cooler. It is absolutely boiling in here. I cannot stress enough how hot it is. That's why I'm not wearing my shirt, because it's so hot. But yeah, I do spend some time in here with the audiobook. It's quite relaxing, quite nice, especially in the evening. And yeah, let's go further. So as I mentioned earlier in a previous episode, I said that I do some work on my holidays, and this is something I've started to do recently, because before I used to separate, like when I would go on a holiday, I would completely, lock off, switch off from everything to do with the work, and I would just go away and fully be committed to enjoy the holidays. And there was nothing wrong with that. It just, my perception changed, and my knowledge improved and everything. And now for last 1.5 years I tend to do some actual work on holidays, and I find it also quite productive, especially if I'm in a good environment, as I normally try to put myself in. And what it helps me to do, it helps me to kind of stay with that feeling when you are actually in the flow, rather than you go away from something and then you try to get yourself back in. And also, as you guys know, at the beginning of the year I became self-employed, and things changed for me. There is some benefits of being self-employed, and there is some maybe disadvantages of being self-employed, because obviously you're using that guarantee, that paycheck at the end of the month that pays the bills. But I was looking to grow, and in order to grow I think I had to do it. And now I've got more freedom, but I also noticed that in order for me to earn, I must be able to produce the results. That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter how much time I spend on a particular activity, I have to be able to deliver the results. And this is something what changed, because if you are on a full-time job, then you're going to get that paycheck, so it's almost enough to be at the work, and you can earn that money by spending the time. But when you're self-employed or entrepreneur, you have to produce the results in order to make the living and earn some money. And it's strange, it's uncomfortable, but in the meantime, we all know that the progress starts outside your comfort zone. And I think with the going self-employed, I've taken that step forward and actually moved myself outside of the comfort zone. But I also realized that it gives me a huge advantage that at some point I would have to do it anyway. If I want to run my own business, I would have to do it anyway. So I'm really pleased with that. I'm learning new things. I'm going through different emotions when I'm working on my projects on my clients, and I feel that I'm literally growing as a person. So one thing what I do always when I go somewhere is I do take audiobooks with me all the time, and I especially like when I was traveling to here, it was really almost couple of days, and it was so handy to have audiobook in a pocket, and I could just switch it on when I'm at the airport, when I'm in the plane, or when I'm on the go, when I'm walking or doing some other stuff. When I'm here, I already showed you my working area where I'm gonna be doing some work. Obviously, I do have internet here, which is extremely helpful. And I'll be doing literally a normal like daily activities the way I do the work on my projects at home. And it doesn't mean I have to work here all the time and not to enjoy the holidays. That's definitely not what I'm planning to do. But I do plan to dedicate some of my time, some pieces of my time during the day when I just lock myself out, move away from the crowd, and just go in a state of work, and just focus on knocking out a couple of smaller or medium-sized tasks, which would have to be done anyway. And if I just didn't do anything for 2 weeks while I'm on holiday, when I get home, I would be overloaded. Now, when I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna be completely relaxed because I will have been working on things that's supposed to be worked on. And when I just gonna go home, it's just gonna be normal. I'm gonna carry on working on the things as I do. So this is something to keep in mind when you go on holiday. And if you don't want to sort of take your projects with you, then that's completely fine. I just find it's handy for me, and I enjoy it more. I enjoy more the work I do, and I enjoy holiday more, even when I'm having to do some work on my project, because I'm really inspired by them. So that's about how I'm looking at my holidays. This is my perspective, and I do believe in order to grow, you have to be able to work from anywhere at any time.